Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show where I'm Damien Farr, and tonight we're talking about the Eternals. It's not I keep wanting to say it's the Eternals. It's not the Eternals, it's Eternals. But before we do, we're going to talk about something different. And I know what you're thinking, Damien, different. Well, not really too different. I got to get out my little cue card thing here, but we're not talking too different. We're talking The Harder They Fall. A Netflix movie that I didn't know anything about really other than Idris Elba was in it, and Jonathan Majors, and some of the cast of Atlanta. So we're going to talk about that first, because I think it's just a quick movie that we can get out of the way. It's directed by James Samuel, a screenplay by him and Bose Yank, and it's a Netflix exclusive movie where we're going to get the plot out of the way because it's literally just this basic plot. Nat Love, played by Jonathan Majors, wants revenge on Rufus Buck, who was played by Idris Elba, for killing his mother and father and then putting a cross into his forehead. So that's really all there is to say about this movie, other than Jonathan Majors was good, Idris Elba was good, Zazie Beetz, I think it's Beat, she's from Atlanta, and then Lakeith Stainfield was also good. I think the cast, these four are good, don't get me wrong. But honestly, this is a pretty forgettable movie. It's just a revenge tale. And that's what a lot of westerns are, let's be honest. A lot of revenge westerns. So, it's okay. There's two big things I want to point out. There's one amazing scene at the ending between Jonathan Majors and Idris Elba that I thought, holy crap, this was good. I almost wanted to say, shit, fuck. So, it was really good in that case, where I was like, wow, this is great. And you know what I forgot also? Because we're going to be walking over there in a second. No Pants November, baby. So let's do that here in just a second. We're grabbing out $2 for the swears that I just made. We're going to round up two. We're going to just do $2 extra here. So these are going to go in Picard the Pig. But before I get over there, you know, I want to talk about this scene. It's a really good scene. And take my pants off. So, it is a really good scene where Idris Elba, spoiler alert, Idris Elba is like, hey, you're my stepbrother. Our dad was a terrible man, and I need to get rid of him. And then I got rid of his wife. And I'm like, I mean, I guess that makes sense if he was a terrible man, but why'd you have to off his wife? Is what I was thinking in that process. So, I don't know. But honestly, it was a pretty good movie. I'd give it an FA. It's definitely worth a watch, but it's probably going to be, you're going to forget about it pretty quick. And I would say, honestly, the best part about it was also the soundtrack. Hip-hop with a Western is something I don't think I've heard before. I don't watch many Westerns, though. But hip-hop with Westerns is something I haven't really heard ever. And I thought it worked really well. So I think that would be a good way to go. So, I mean, that's also a good way to go is, you know, just that. And then going to another movie with Atlanta characters or Atlanta alum here, which they're not, are they alum at this point or what are they considered? I mean, they technically still are making Atlanta, but you know what I mean. They've been on the show and they're still going to be on the show. So, you know, we'll talk about that. Also, I'd like to point out, Cuphead here has a little chunk missing, like a little thing missing. What happened there? Yep, we'll take a second to clean out Cuphead here. So, getting back to it, we're talking Eternals. This is the main thing that we're talking about. I can't really look at the other camera because, well, I'm not there. Let's look at the Spidey cam, which is kind of off-centered for some reason. But that's okay. It happens. So, Eternals. Basic info. It's directed by Chloe Zhao. Awkwardly scoot over here. Pull up the thing. Chloe Zhao. With a screenplay by Chloe Zhao, Patrick Burley, Ryan Floopy, Kaz Floopy, No idea. The biggest thing I want to point out is one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if you're going to notice it. I'm a big movie guy, so I noticed this right away. I saw it in IMAX, personally, and I just remember the aspect ratio changing. Like, it'd be literally, oh, you're looking at this person, cuts to a different person, not an IMAX, cuts back to the other person, IMAX, and it's like, please don't. So I thought that was kind of bad that they did that route, honestly, where they kept cutting back and forth. Either put it in IMAX or don't put it in IMAX, honestly. Don't get me wrong, I understand that years ago, IMAX was a commodity, and it made sense. I got used to it, but now we've gotten to the point where movies are changing aspect ratios too often during the movie, and it's not good. For example, Transformers. They've changed aspect ratio a couple of times in those movies, and it's bad. This is a movie directed by an Academy Award-winning director. This shouldn't be happening that often. And it kind of took me out of the movie, if I'm being honest. So, I thought the cast was amazing. I do want to say, before we get into it, this movie is an FA. This is the best cast of any Marvel movie, though, that's not an Avengers movie. This is some really big name actors in a movie that they didn't need to be in. So, we got Jemmy Chan as Siri. I don't want to spoil too much of the movie, and we give a basic plot here in a minute. Richard Madden as Icarus. Kamal Nanjiani as Kingo. We got Leah McHugh as Sprite. Brian Tyree Henry as Fastos. Atlanta alum, baby! The main 4 characters of Atlanta, 3 of them were in movies that came out this last weekend. Actually, I think the Netflix movie came out on a Wednesday, but I'd still count it a weekend because who's really going to watch it on a Wednesday? Then we got Lauren Riddoff as Merrick, Barry Kiro as Druid, and I think, if I remember correctly, this is the guy that I looked at him and said, why do they have Flash in here? And I was like, why is the Flash guy in here? And I couldn't understand it, but then I looked it up and he's not the same guy. Then you got Don Lee as Gilgamesh, Kit Harington as Dane Whitman, Selma Hayek as Ajax, and Angelina Jolie as Thena. This cast is the best, once again, that a Marvel movie has been put together. But there's flaws here. There's some big flaws. There's also a chunk of this desk for some reason now. Something's going on here. There's a lot of things going on that's been messing up stuff here, I guess. I don't know what happened there, but whatever. Getting back to it. The basic plot of this movie is Eternals fight Deviants. Kill the last of the Deviants. They separate. The Deviants return. Avengers assemble. Eternals assemble. My apologies. They go to find Ajax. Find her dead. They prepare for the emergence. They give very little backstory on each Eternal. And this is where I think they should have changed it. I saw this online before seeing the movie, and I have to agree wholeheartedly. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, said that this movie should have been a miniseries. And I think, honestly, the way they should have did this is hour-long episodes on Disney+. 10 of them. There's 10 main Eternals. Give them some backstory. Make me care about them. Because, spoiler alert, Ajax dies. I didn't care, honestly. Gilgamesh dies. Didn't care, honestly. These characters, some of them die, and I just don't care. Because it's like, I don't know who you are. I've seen a little bit of you. But it could have been better. I think a 10-part miniseries would have worked great, though, where you get 30 minutes of the episode is dedicated to one Eternal, showing their backstory, showing what happens to them. And I understand that some of them stick together and it can overlap, but I like the idea of them sticking together and being 10 episodes. So You get 1 Eternal, you get 2 Eternal, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something like that. Give a little backstory to flesh them out. 30 minutes. Just dedicate 30 minutes and then 30 minutes to the modern day current plot. That would just make perfect sense in my mind. Then, after a while, you get the team back together, and then you figure out Richard Madden's character Icarus, which I just called Superman because the kid called him that too, and well, let's be honest, it's pretty much Superman. Just doesn't have super speed, which kind of sucks. The team is back. Superman is bad. They stop the emergence, and then we're getting to, I think, the bigger spoiler territory, because let's be honest, I think you saw all this coming other than Superman is bad, and people dying made sense. Like, if they weren't in the trailer that much, like, come on, you knew it was coming. But the mid-credit scene has Harry Styles as Star Fox, Eros of Titan, Thanos' brother, to which I think, this man's got to be adopted. Or Thanos is adopted. One of them's adopted. But nobody liked Thanos, so this guy's got to be adopted. They had Thanos, and they're like, we need to adopt a kid that looks normal. And they got Harry Styles, which, good job. And then you got a post-credit scene where Mahershala Ali voices Blade as Kit Harington picks up a sword, which I don't know anything about that. There's videos out there to talk about it, but I don't know anything about it. So, honestly, Eternals, it's a good movie, but it could have been better. I felt like I was thrown in the middle of something, and I didn't know any of the characters. I knew basic info on these characters from the movie, and I still don't really know what I watched. So, honestly, if this would have been a 10-part miniseries, like I said, giving 30 minutes to a character, 30 minutes to the progression of the story, 30 minutes to a character, 30 minutes to the progression of the story, makes sense. I think they should have did it that way. And then, honestly, if a character was going to die, give me 30 minutes of their backstory so I care about them. For example, Ajax, first one to die. Give me 30 minutes of her backstory. Show them that she was a good leader or something. Give me something, because all I know is she is one of the best Eternals. There's one thing I've learned, and this doesn't come from a talk show point of view, but from a normal movie point of view, something I've always been told is show, don't tell. This movie did not show or tell me much. Told me she was one of the best Eternal leaders. Yet she failed and died. So, you know, there's some issues there. It shows me that Richard Madden's character Icarus really loves Siri. Why did he leave? You gonna explain that to me? Am I gonna ever figure that out? Probably not. So, I think there's some flaws in this movie, and I said, once again, it should be a mini-series. That's all I got. So, what did you think of The Harder They Fall? What did you think of Eternals? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.